What's going on, guys? Brandon here. Subscriptions Talk for books released January 16th. And I know my videos used to be uploaded on Fridays, but they'll probably start to be uploaded on Saturdays more. Just a lot easier for me to get it done. I don't have to read them as fast to get it. As always, these are ordered from least favorite to pick of the week. And my least favorite book of the week was Captain America #3. I'm still not sold on John Romita just drawing this book. I mean, I don't know. I liked when he did that run of Avengers, but I just don't feel like this is his genre that he can do. It's kind of a sci-fi. It doesn't work for me. I was confused this pretty much whole story, but then again I was uninterested also, which is probably why I was confused. I probably would have dropped this book if it wasn't for the last page where it seems that I don't know, Cap Zola? It has him ripping open his shirt, and there's kind of a Zola in his chest, like Aram Zola. So, I mean, we'll see what's going on. I'm definitely not dropping it now. XMen #40, second to last book. The cover does not tell you who's in this book. It's Storm leading a team of Pixie, Chamber, which has somehow seen his way into current continuity again, Iceman, and Angel. And they're called like a kind of a new team, and they're searching for new mutants. They find a new mutant who like controls machines or whatnot, and they apprehend him. They apprehend the new mutant, and Freedom Force shows up. I don't know any of the people. They must all be new mutants by the government. I don't know. Whatever. Wasn't really feeling it, but you know, can't drop it because there's one issue left after that. Avengers Assemble #11. Storyline kind of was, I don't know, didn't really interest me. There was a disease, whatever. They stopped the disease, they stopped the mastermind behind the disease, and then Hulk and Tony have to do the naked walk from the Avengers Tower to the Baxter Building. And if this book was just the Avengers sitting around talking to each other the whole time, I'd be perfectly fine with it. Because that seems to be the highlight of this book, is the interaction between the characters rather than the action itself. I wish this book could be written like a sitcom of like in Avengers Tower. I mean, I know they don't all live there, obviously, but it's interesting, and I like the interaction that Kelly Sue DeConnick writes into it. Wolverine Max #3. I wasn't really too sold on the Wolverine series either. It wasn't really doing it for me. You know, it's just kind of everyday Wolverine. I feel like I've heard the stories before. Sabretooth shows up to tell him some great news and tell him about his past again, as always. I don't understand how Sabretooth knows all this stuff. I feel like Sabretooth is constantly just creeping on Wolverine. Like, no matter what Wolverine's doing in his life, Sabretooth is always just there, watching him and laughing and preparing to tell him about it at a later date. Sabretooth is the ultimate troll to Wolverine. So, I mean, you know, he finds out he's the one that crashed the plane, and that's kind of the cliffhanger they leave you with towards the end of this issue. Indestructible Hulk #3. I like what they're doing with this book. I like how, you know, Banner being a agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., they go in and they replace him with this person who's supposed to be kidnapped. And in replacing him, they take him to the AIM headquarters. And they take off the helmet that they had on him, and it's actually Bruce starting to Hulk out. And I thought that was a really interesting way to go about it. And then he encounters the Quintronic Man, who's also on the cover here, and, you know, kind of just basically takes care of him and everything. He gets a new lab team and a new kind of associate, which is this robot that has to follow him around. It kind of reminds me of Booster Gold's robot. I can't remember the name of it right offhand, but, I mean, it doesn't, like, as of now, it doesn't, like, talk to him and help him with things, but it's just kind of bobbing there. So, we'll see how that goes. Superboy 16. Upon looking at this cover, I didn't like it because anybody knows that I don't like Batman. But I actually really enjoyed this issue, and I enjoyed Batman in the issue, although I hate how the subtitle on this cover is Batman and the Justice League leading us out on the fortress. Is Batman not a part of the Justice League? Why do we have to do that? I feel like this was just an attempt to try to get somebody to buy this book who's a Batman fan, and it kind of bothered me, although he wasn't bad in this book. They lead the assault on the Fortress of Solitude, a three-pronged attack where Batman and Superboy attack from the front, Cyborg and Superman attack from like the side, and then Wonder Woman is also with them, and the Flash is, I don't know, doing something. But they end up getting in, and they're looking for a piece of kryptonite to stop Hell, and this alien prison that sends its captors to multitudes of pocket dimensions is it's almost hitting Superboy, and then Superman saves him, but then gets sucked up into this thing himself, and then Superboy jumps in after him to save him. I believe this leads into the Superboy Annual, and that's probably what the Superboy Annual is going to be, is that pocket dimension. But either way, I like this book a lot. I just wish they didn't, I don't know. I feel like, no, I'm not going there. You know my feelings on Batman. Daredevil 22. This book was a roller coaster. It opened up and it had Superior Spider-Man there. He was supposed to bring in Daredevil because he was considered a criminal. He was supposed to bring him in for questioning or whatever. And upon going and confronting him, Daredevil feels like there's something weird about him because obviously it's not Peter anymore. But, you know, they start fighting, and then they see Stiltman, so then they team up to take Stiltman down. And everything's good between them, whatever. But then it's really funny, hilarious moments, and then it goes to the end, and somebody really close to Daredevil is facing some real decisions they have to make in their life. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, it really surprised me. Like, I'm not surprised by a lot of these things, but it did. It took me off guard. And especially with the mood that this book set, and then to just dive me right into that, it was just, it was good. The way that this book has just been so solid since it came out is still astonishing. 22 issues in, and it's just as solid as when it started. Kudos to the writer, kudos to the artist and everything. Kudos to anybody involved in this book. Savage Wolverine #1. I tried not to give this book too much credit because it was a #1, and I have a way of getting too excited over #1 books, as anybody who's seen my past couple videos has noticed. But I really did enjoy this. A shield ship goes down with Sean on board, and they end up like barricading themselves in and surviving for a while on the Savage Land. But there's this mountain. It looks like Man-Thing. I don't know why. It's a Man-Thing mountain. Maybe that's their aim. Maybe it's not. But they figure out they have to like find a machine to shut this barrier down or whatever. And then Wolverine gets kind of just transported in like 8 months later. Has no idea why. Takes down a group of the Savage people, and then finds Shannon. They meet up. They fight some dinosaurs, whatever. But I mean, it's just introduced you into this book, and I really enjoyed it. But I hope that they stay on the Savage Land, because I feel like there's a lot of crazy things that you could do with Wolverine on the Savage Land for a while, and I'd like to see that explored more. And the team up between him and Shannon is going to work, I feel, but I don't know. We'll see moving forward. Frank Cho is a great artist as well. All new X-Men #6. This book was awesome. Kitty Pryde shows great promise in being the leader to the original X-Men that she said she wanted to be. She helps Jean through a moment with her, her telepathy is going crazy, and she helps her through it. Cyclops, as normal Cyclops, old or new, throws a fit and runs away. And then as Wolvie pursues him, they have a confrontation, and then he says he has to go see himself. Past Angel meets Future Angel. That's a little interesting little thing that happens. And then it shows Mystique is going to get involved now. So nothing ever good happens when Mystique's involved because she's so shady. I guess that's her MO, though. And then my pick of the week, which this book, I wasn't even going to subscribe to New Avengers. But when I heard Black Bolt was in it, I went for it. And the first issue was all about Black Panther, kind of, and I wasn't really feeling it. But then this issue came, and man, am I glad I hopped on this book. This is probably one of the best current books I've read in a long time. Just the magnitude that this book is at blows my mind. Because they talk about it so seriously, and it's portrayed so well that I believe that I'm actually in trouble. Reed starts talking about these multiple universes and multiple dimensions on the one singular timeline colliding and crushing each other, and two worlds colliding, and one of them must be destroyed or both will be destroyed. and they got to destroy a world to save theirs or whatnot. But man, it's just, I'm so into this story, and then they take the switch and they change it and they say, oh wait, hold on, we don't have to worry about destroying a world. We're gonna reassemble the Infinity Gauntlet. Wow, how many times are you gonna surprise me in this with things that I love? So in order to restore the Infinity Gauntlet, they need to find the Mind Gem, which was lost when Charles died. So they're going to use their gems to find the Mind Gem. And then the final summation is they're probably going to have to end up killing a world regardless. So I don't know how many issues they plan on running this story, but I hope it's a long time. Because as of now, it just seems there's so many different ways they can go that I love the magnitude of it, as I said before. It's such an encompassing feeling that you feel like all the other books are just irrelevant compared to this. Like, they're doing whatever, but this is the book that controls all of it. Because if they fail, none of the other stuff matters anyway, because everything's done. And they really portray that well. Hickman did a great job of writing that in here, of how, although all the other stuff's happening and it's important, that this is just the most important thing. It makes you forget about everything else. And it really sucks you in, and that's what I've I haven't been getting a lot out of all these current books. Pick of the week, New Avengers number 2. Can't wait for number 3. Read this book. You need to read this book. That's really all I have to say. I might go read this again. But as for you, remember, have a great day.